Hello and welcome back to Just Another Anime channel, and I'm your host Shar. And I know it has been a lot of time since I've been uploaded a video, and this is my first upload in a while, and I'm gonna be talking about the Lost Village. Apparently, the Lost Village has a pretty good base plot, So I thought I will be reviewing this anime. I just watched it. This anime is kinda old. It was aired in 2016, so it's almost 2.5 years old actually. But besides that, I did see a lot of different reviews about this anime. People saying that it's pretty bad, and I to some degree actually agree with them. But then again, I have some of my thoughts that I would like to share with you as in this review. So let's talk about it. So the base plot of a bus full of people going to a village that might not even exist to start a new life, and something, well, not something, or more like things don't go really well, is actually a good place to start, and it actually makes for a really good synopsis. I think that's why most people actually watched it, because it actually made a good synopsis. And I'm actually going to read the synopsis here. After a few mishaps, a successful arrival at Nanaki village only found it's completely abandoned, and judging by the state of disrepair, it has been vacant for at least a year. However, secrets are soon revealed as some of the groups begin to go missing. While exploring the village and amidst in the confusion, they find bloody claw marks in the forest, and mistrust and fight breaks out. So after reading this synopsis, you'll be like, "Oh my god, this is the probably the best anime synopsis I've read. It looks pretty cool. They have bloody claw marks in a forest. What could go wrong?" Well, that's where everything goes wrong in the execution of the anime. It totally takes a 180, and while having, it uses psychological trauma as monsters. It could have been a good plot, but it was just not well executed, and they could have gone with so much different stuff, as in plot wise, but they were not able to make it stick, and just the execution was pretty bad. So let's talk about some of the characters over here. We have way lot of characters, and half of them I don't even remember, and the story only focuses on 5 to 6 of the characters, while other characters are somewhat interesting. They were totally not given any attention, and in general there was no character development, so I am pretty disappointed, because they could have done something with the characters at least. But the characters were just pretty bland, and our main protagonist Mitsumune is not, my favorite kind of character. He's pretty lethargic, and in all there were so many characters that it's hard to focus, and because of that, and having just 12 episodes to work with, they were not able to actually make any development in the characters. The genres actually say it's a comedy anime, and I think that's pretty correct, because when I was watching it, and particularly in episode 9, when that scary looking guy, let's see if we can find him over here, he's actually not in the characters first page. So that actually is scary looking guy fights a monster that's actually a wooden design that he saw on a table. It's actually pretty funny, and I actually bursted out laughing at that scene. It's a very weird way that they have executed stuff, and it's just that the anime feels all over the place. Mysteries don't feel like they are actually able to go and go anywhere, because there was so much mystery and there was so much potential that they never really explained it well. Like, something in the first episode, what happened to that Yotson guy. It was never really told, and I just felt that if they had explained it a bit more, and or they would have just used a different plot instead of going for psychological trauma monster thingy, which I apparently have seen somewhere else. I don't remember where, but I've seen this plot, not based in a village but somewhere else. They could have got a decent anime. You know, the bloody claw mark could have been something like a monster or anything, and they would have, if they would have gone that way, I think it would have been more enjoyable instead of, a psychological trauma thing. While some characters have backstory to them, it doesn't really make it any more special in any way. Their backstories are pretty short, and personally, I would like to see some other characters' backstory, but the backstories that I actually saw were pretty uninteresting. There were so many other characters that could have been given a backstory, but they were just ignored. I would have actually liked to see Jack, this guy's backstory. He actually seemed more interesting, and even that other Jack guy, who was pretty arrogant at first, they never showed that guy's backstory. Why? I would actually like to see that guy's backstory more than anyone else over here. Everybody else backstory is pretty bland, and I just didn't like it. Well, I understand they have just 12 episodes to work with, but it's it's just a mess of a anime. While having a good plot, they just ruined it by doing something that it was not, or by making it something that it was totally not. And let's talk about the sound. Soundtrack wise, opening and ending soundtrack not that excellent or outstanding. Um, but the background soundtrack or the background sound that were in the actual episodes, those were pretty damn good. Because I actually thought that those were the actual thing that were keeping the mystery alive instead of the story itself. So the background soundtrack was pretty good. Overall, I feel that this anime could have been better if it had a different plot, or if it was just not this rushed. I don't know, it's more of a weird anime. And then again, the mystery or the plot itself was not very well hidden, or it was just not very well presented. And I figured out the mystery in like just episode 4 or episode 5. So yeah, I just watched the ending because I wanted some final closure, but I didn't find it satisfactory enough, and the ending itself was quite rushed. So yeah. But all in all, I don't think that I feel hugely disappointed, but I don't feel much entertained enough. So yeah, that's for the review. And I, in all honesty, rate it as 5 out of 10. A lot of things could have been done better, but they were not. So yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you like my review, press the like button, and I would like to hear your opinions too. What did you think about this? And yeah, thanks for watching.